This is where I stay. When I first came here, they fixed this up for me. The local people fixed it up for me. They put a concrete floor in and make me a door so I could have a little bit of privacy here. Because otherwise, that's one thing here, you don't get any privacy. No. As a matter of fact, they feel kind of badly if they leave you alone. They think you get lonely. But you know, here you go to bed at 8:30 at night. I go and I sit out there and I look at the stars, and for maybe until around 8:30 or something like that, I have myself a warm beer and sit out and look at the stars, and then I come in and one of the most wonderful things that I got an iPod with about 80 or 100 books on it. And so I listen to that, and then I usually go to sleep listening to that. And hardly any mosquitoes around here. That's one of the, I always say that there's negative things about a place, like we got the dust, but very few mosquitoes. Actually, about once every maybe 10 days or something like that, I go to Dulareji where I scrub up. I scrub up here every evening, but you know, it's, what do you call it, the idea was to kind of develop this place, and it's part of this thing too. Maryknoll has got traditions. We go to marginated places where nobody else goes, and now these people out here, if you're around them for a while, you find that they're as alert and as live and as active and filled with interest as anybody else. But they live here where very few people pay any attention to them. So when I came out, I thought, well, I would just build a little church. And then one day, 40 adult people. They were all on the young side. You know, in other words, they're still bringing up children. They're still having children. And I counted the kids. There were 70 kids. And I said, okay, now in 10 years' time, if we put up a little church, it's going to be filled up. So I figured for maybe 20, 30 years for the future, anybody that wants to come, there will always be a place for them. We won't have to kind of squeeze them out and try to make plans for them. So that's how it got to be the size that it is now. But I really think that given the way the population is going now, and they say here in the town that the greatest number of people are Catholics, but there's also a lot of other groups. There's Lutherans, there's AICs, there's Sabatos, there's Pentecostals, and there's the Muslim group. But you have to have conveniences for people to come. Like this it's a church, but it's really multi-purpose. I can live in the back. When women come in for courses, men come in for courses, they can use those as places to stay. So we'll have conveniences so people can continue to, you know, in other words, the people that we can attract, we can take care of. When we first got here, I looked at the plan. I said, this isn't so big. And then we staked it out, and I was overwhelmed by the stakes, how far things were apart. And then I said, well, and then we dug the trenches, and the trenches, they kind of shrunk things down again. And then we put in the foundation, and it looked enormous again. And I just, oh God. But anyway, it's okay. Now we're coming along pretty well. I always have to laugh because it says, don't build your house on sand. This thing is completely built on sand. But rocks on top of the sand, but anyway. When I get finished with this, I'm kind of hoping that I can sit back and kind of do what I'd like to do. What I'd really like to do is cover outstations, do what do you call it, coursework in different areas for Christianity. Because I think that's what happens after you get a little bit older. You begin to appreciate. It's not the things that you have. It's how you look at life that really makes the difference. Go show,